I'm confused.
And he concludes.
I know.
I'm confused.
I know, bro.
These arguments, maybe they are too deep for me, you know. I don't.
Okay, well, speak of the
Hey.
devil. We've got SF on now. I'm gonna be nice and quiet, okay, and I'm gonna let you two have at it. But yeah, go for it. Thanks for
buddy,
coming
how
back
you
on.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Right. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you're saying yep. Okay. Yeah. So why would I care what a farmer does on his land?
What?
No, it's a question. Are you
You
saying
need to make
like
the argument. What is the question? Why would you care?
yeah? Why as a vegan, right? Why do I care what a farmer does? Because he's a moral agent. He makes decisions, right? Why do I care what he does? Now I would care because he kills the animals. But like, I mean, that's bad. Yeah, I agree. But like, why am I blameworthy for someone else's actions? Can you explain that to me?
And it's your action, right? You are paying either to pay pesticides or you are paying the slaughterhouse.
Okay. Do you agree with that? Is that something you agree with?
You don't have a choice.
No.
To pay
I'm asking,
someone.
do you? No. I'm asking, do you agree with it? Are you committed to that same thing? Are you committed to saying that if you pay for something, that you are morally responsible for what you're paying for, and all the consequences thereafter?
Yeah, you are responsible, of course.
Okay, so that's great. You're a vegetarian now. So now we're going to go for veganism. Okay.
No, not, of course.
You should be, because it's a logical entailment. Okay. So how am I responsible for a rabbit that is shot on a farm? Can you explain it to me?
I mean, you are paying the farmer to shoot the rabbit, right? You are paying for the bullets.
No, I'm not.
You are paying
No.
for the
Wait.
work.
Wait. I'm
You
not
know
paying
it
for.
will happen. You know it will happen.
No, that's very different. Those are two different things. So I'm not paying for a rabbit to be shot. I'm paying for carrots. The farmer just protect his crops with a gun.
Right.
I disagree with that action.
Then the carrots will cause some crop deaths.
Yeah, I just granted that. I've already granted you that.
Right.
Okay, so why am I blameworthy for it?
Because you are paying for it. It's
so anything I pay for, the consequences thereafter are my fault.
Yeah.
I don't think you believe that.
Of course.
So if
you have a choice.
No, you don't.
You can buy meat, or you can buy fish
Okay,
that did not cause crop deaths, or you can buy the carrots that caused the crop deaths.
Okay, so
you get to make every day.
Okay, so in sweatshops, right, where they make children make things, right?
Yes.
That's bad. Do you agree?
Of course.
So if you go to a supermarket, I don't know where you live. Let's say we have something called Tesco here or Walmart. That's kind of universal. Let's say I go there and there's one item that I know in that shop is made from a sweatshop. But I don't buy that item. I buy something in that shop. But the profits from that shop go to buying more things from the sweatshop. Am I morally blameworthy for buying any other item in that shop?
You support, the products which
No.
you support
Okay.
will. You know what I mean.
So would you say there's a difference between me buying something from that shop that isn't directly made in a sweatshop and buying something that's directly made from the sweatshop? Do you understand the difference between those two things, right?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, good. Then that's the argument I'm making.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see how is that relevant.
There's a degree of separation. If you think that flow from your actions are morally blameworthy, then you are ruling out accidents. You now don't believe accidents exist, right? And you also you are now morally responsible for everything. Do you understand that?
Yeah, unless it's required, unless you have to do it, right?
Well, no, but you wouldn't have any understanding of what flows from your actions.
Say that again.
So if I'm walking along the street, so I'm going to use a lot of analogies, okay, because it's the only way to do this.
Yes.
So if I'm walking along the street and a dog runs out and I trip over the dog and I spill my hot coffee into the face of an old man. Am I responsible for that? Would you blame me for that?
That's an accident.
Well, it's an accident, yeah. But like, it's a consequence of my actions, right?
Right? Yes.
Okay, so what's the difference between the consequences of my actions and me intending to do something? Do you understand that difference?
I mean, when you buy plants, you know that the money will go to the pesticide industry. You
Okay,
know
when
that.
okay, but then that's just ubiquitous. That just happens everywhere. Every time I spend money, it goes to something immoral because immorality is everywhere. But we have to pass the difference between me saying that I have an intention for this to go to a good or a bad thing, my need for it to go to whatever I'm buying, and whether I have understanding of where this money is going. There are conditions to be met, and I don't think you understand
But
like
you
moral
have a
conditions.
choice. You have a choice. You know, you can buy.
I don't have an understanding of these things. Like if I bought some carrots, right? Can you tell me how many animals have died for those carrots? Do you know?
No idea. No idea.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So the ability to make different choices, right? So if I buy a dead cow, we call it a steak. How many animals have died for that?
Well, you don't know either.
Well,
Because there are
one
drops.
at least. One at least, right? We know there's one. We can make that argument. We can say at least one animal has died.
Well, one animal died for many steaks. Like
Sure.
1 million calories also.
Sure, but that's not the point I'm making, right? What
Okay.
I'm making the point that you're trying to say that if I buy carrots, then I'm responsible for whatever happened to create those carrots. And I'm telling you, I don't think you can make that argument. I don't think you're making that argument. I don't think that argument is possible
Why?
because you haven't made it.
You cannot buy. You have the option to not buy the carrots. You know.
Yeah, but why would I not buy the carrots when you haven't made the argument that I'm responsible for the deaths of the animals connected to the carrots? There's a moral agent in between
You are
me.
responsible. Of course, you are responsible. Not an
Like,
accident. Nothing is an accident.
I didn't say it's an accident. All I say is there are different conditions. Maybe I'm not explaining this correctly. Okay, there are different conditions that have to be met, right, for you to be blameworthy for an action. Let's think about law, right? You're in a case. You're in a court of law, right? And your case is being heard, right? And they say you're guilty of murder, right? But you're not guilty of murder in your mind because you never intended to kill somebody, nor when you acted, do you have any idea that your actions would result in a murder? Would you be guilty? Would you feel like you were guilty and blameworthy? I don't think you would, right?
Let me ask you
But
something. Let's say you use a chemical weapon on a city, in a city. No, you drop it in a city. Maybe nobody will die, but the chances are that many people will die. You know, you are responsible, 100%.
yeah, but you
Those-
had
those-
wait. Why would you wait? But hang on. If you use chemical weapons,
Yeah?
right? You have an intention, and the expected outcome of using chemical weapons is to kill people. Like your expected outcome, like you buy a product and it's a dead animal, you have an intention to buy a dead animal. You know it's a dead animal. When I buy carrots, I have no intention of rabbits dying. No, you can make look. I'm going to make your argument for you because this is just boring me. Okay, I can say to you, I might know for a fact, and in fact I do know for a fact that animals die for crops, right?
Right?
I can just grant you that. Now, I don't want that to happen. I'd like a world in which that didn't happen. But like to say that I'm blameworthy for it, you can't really do it, can you?
Of course you can.
Oh well, off you
You
go then.
know that, I don't get it, yeah. You know that this choice of yours will cause crop deaths. So
Well, hey,
it's the
wait,
same as
wait,
the
wait.
chemical weapon. The pesticides are a chemical weapon, essentially. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you throw it, you know that there are many animals there, you know they will die. It's the same as throwing a chemical weapon in a city. You know, it's the same. There are chances that nobody will die, but they are essentially zero. So yes, you are blameworthy. Yes, you have a choice. You cannot throw the pesticides, the chemical weapon. You can choose to not buy it. You can choose to
Okay.
buy something else.
Wait, you know I'm not a farmer, right?
You are.
I'm not a farmer. I don't throw pesticides anywhere.
Yeah, but you are supporting the farmer. Yeah,
How am I supporting him? By
you are
buying his
paying
crops?
him. You are paying him to.
No,
So
don't
he
say it.
can keep buying the pesticides and throwing the pesticide and doing the work. You know?
No, I buy his crop. He does that. I'm not responsible for his actions. Now, you can say that I'm engaging in a system in which perpetuates that. I'm happy to agree with you. Then I'm going to ask you, how can I do otherwise? Show me a system in which I can buy from that doesn't create these outcomes that you're talking about. Or show me a better system.
There is no system. This is
Oh, and
where
show me a better one then.
again, we don't know if it's better, but for example,
Okay, then
animal farming could be better. Could be better.
Yeah, I think I can just grant you that. Okay, I think we agree. I think we're done.
Right. Thanks.
No worries, bro. Yeah, no case to answer.
Are we done? Are we done?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't, I'm confused.
Any conclude?
I know.
I'm confused.
I know, bro.
These arguments, maybe they are too deep for me. You know, I don't.
So yeah, I can lay them out for you. I can give you some references if you want.
Right. Sure.
Basically, it's the difference between something happening and you being part of a cause, right? So you can be a domino in dominoes falling, but you may not be blameworthy for that thing. Like I gave you the analogy of the accident, you might be a part of a cause, but you might not be blameworthy for it. You can say that things happen because you do something, but you have to make an argument to say that, oh yeah, you're guilty of the outcome. Otherwise, I just don't know what you're saying.
I'm not saying that you are a bad person for
Well, no, I don't.
buying plants because you don't have a choice. You know,
Yeah,
you have to
that's
buy
right.
something
Yeah,
to eat.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So then it
my
becomes
point is that animal foods, buying animal foods, there is no way to know if it's worse than buying plants. You know? Of course, we have to eat some plants. You cannot feed the world with just animal foods.
no. I
But
think okay. Then I'll let me be really, 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 really charitable. Okay, it would be good, right? Would it not, if we could lower all of these things? So if we could lower crop deaths and we could lower like animal deaths in general, like if there was a way that we could work towards maybe giving animals like a higher status and say, people, hey, these animals, we probably should be more careful, even if it costs more money, even if it costs more time. We should probably like do better here. Like, come on, guys, let's all get together and do better. Would you agree with that?
I agree 100%. But
There you go.
that is not a vegan world.
That's getting closer, though. Do you not think? That's
And
you would take
I
a
don't
you would
know.
take the.
I don't know.
Hey,
I think
you're starting to sound like a proto-vegan. Sure, you're not a little bit vegan?
I'm not sure if we actually could increase the animal foods we eat. If that wouldn't be better, you know? If
But
we
okay, but then what
replace
would
some
change?
of those crops which we use pesticides on with free-range farms, for example. I think we could afford. We have enough land to replace some of those crops with
Okay.
more animal foods.
Okay, so let's say we adopted that, right?
Maybe we're getting away from a vegan world, actually.
Sure, sure. And this
I'm not sure.
assumes, yeah, but well, no. Okay, it might be the case that you're going towards a vegan world in the same way that I was describing it, but ultimately you'll never get there because inherent within your argument is the fact that we use animals. And if you continue to use animals, we have a system based on using animals, killing animals, I don't think we're going to get into a world in which we don't kill animals.
Maybe in a few centuries, you know, when we have the technology, we could all go vegan. But right now, in our lifetimes, I don't
Well,
see it.
well, if you'd have made that argument, that would have been a good argument. I'd like to have attacked that argument. But like, I think maybe if you could formulate that argument, say maybe we should go into a sort of purely animal-based agricultural world until which time that we have the technology to go vegan. That would be I don't think anyone's ever made that argument. I'd love to hear you make that argument. You should definitely
That's not my argument.
I know, but I'd like to hear it. I think you should do it. That's what I think.
Why?
Because I've never heard it before. And it seemed to be like the argument you just made, but it doesn't matter.
My argument is that we could
You don't have an
improve
argument.
things. We could improve both, animal farming and plant farming. And when we are ready, in a few centuries, then we could go vegan, I guess you could say. Technology.
I feel like you're repeating back to me what I just said, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta go,
That's
guys.
my actual argument, though.
Okay.
Not just repeating.
Okay. I gotta go.
Okay.
It's been fun.
Thanks.
And hey, yeah, thanks for chatting with me. Vegan gays, you smell, and I'll chat soon.
Great.
Bye.
Well-